Ah, my audience, welcome back. You stand at a precipice, a moment in time where you have been tested and found resolute. Let me remind you of something important that the world often tries to hide beneath a veil of distractions. There will be moments in your life when you will be forced to walk through a storm, to stand on the edge of everything you know, to question your very self, and to wonder if the weight of the world is too much for you to bear. In these moments, when you look around and see the faces of those who once stood beside you, you might feel a pang of doubt. You might wonder if they're right, if they've seen something that you haven't. But here's the truth that you must hold on to tightly. They now know you weren't fooled for a second, and they're the ones who look stupid. That's right, I said it. They look stupid because they believed in the lies they were told, the deceptions that were wrapped in pretty little packages, the illusions that they clung to like children clutching their toys. They believed in the distractions, the false promises, and the easy paths. But you, my friend, you didn't fall for any of it. You saw through it all. You saw the cracks, the lies, the hypocrisy, and when the dust settled, you stood tall while they scurried around in confusion, realizing too late that they had been duped. This moment, right here, is yours. It's your validation, your moment of victory. You stood strong when others faltered. You saw the truth when everyone else closed their eyes. You didn't give in to the pressure, to the demands, or the expectations of those who would have seen you crumble just to keep their own fragile illusions intact. And now, the weight of that victory is yours to carry with pride, because they know that you are the one who saw what was real while they clung to the fantasy. I want you to feel the weight of that for a second. The world is full of people who choose comfort over truth, who choose the easy lie over the difficult reality. But you chose the hard path. You chose the path that would break you down, test you, strip you of all your comforts, and reveal the harsh truths that most people are too afraid to face. And in the end, it was you who emerged unscathed. It was you who stood taller while others were left gasping for air, realizing that they had been living in a world of their own creation. There's something incredibly powerful about the moment when you stop playing the game, when you stop pretending that everything is fine, that you're just like everyone else, that you don't see the cracks in the system. There's power in that awareness, in that refusal to bow down to the lies. And when you stand in that power, you become a force to be reckoned with. But don't think for a second that this comes without consequence. When you stop playing the game, when you stop pretending to be part of the system will fight back. The world will try to break you. They'll try to isolate you, discredit you, or make you feel small. They'll whisper behind your back, question your motives, and try to convince you that you're wrong, that you've made a mistake. But here's the thing, they can't hurt you. You are the one who sees. You are the one who knows the truth. And the truth is something that can never be taken away from you. It doesn't matter how loud they scream, how many lies they tell, or how many times they try to tear you down. The truth remains, and they will have to face it sooner or later. The world has a way of revealing itself for what it truly is. It's like peeling back layers of skin, revealing the raw, unvarnished reality beneath. And when that happens, you will stand as a testament to the fact that you were never fooled. It's easy to be a part of the crowd, to blend in, to follow the rules, to pretend that everything is just fine. But that path is hollow. That path leads nowhere. The moment you stop living for the approval of others, the moment you stop seeking validation from people who don't have your best interests at heart, you free yourself. You break the chains that bind you, and you step into a world where you are no longer a puppet. You become the one pulling the strings. And here's the thing about people who live in denial. They can only stay in that place for so long before the truth catches up to them. They can only lie to themselves and to others for so long before the weight of their own deception crushes them. It's not a matter of if they'll face the consequences of their actions. It's a matter of when. You've seen it before. You've seen people who have lied and manipulated, people who have betrayed their own principles just to get ahead, and people who have sold their souls for a taste of temporary success. But the thing about lies is that they never last. They may seem like they're winning for a while, but deep down, they know they are on borrowed time. The guilt eats at them. The fear of being exposed haunts them. And one day, they will have to face the consequences of their actions. But you are different. You have stood in the truth. You have walked through the fire and come out stronger on the other side. You've faced your own demons, your own doubts, and your own fears, and you've emerged unbroken. You've seen through the lies and the illusions, and you've chosen to live in a way that is real, authentic, and true. And that, my friend, is something that no one can take away from you. There is a certain satisfaction in knowing that you are one of the few who can see through the veil. There is a certain pride in knowing that while others chase after empty dreams and false promises, you are grounded in something far more powerful, the truth. You may not have the fame, the accolades, or the approval of the masses, but you have something far more valuable. You have the clarity of vision. You have the strength to stand alone if necessary, and you have the conviction to keep moving forward, even when the world tries to drag you down. And make no mistake, the world will try to drag you down. The world will try to break your spirit, to make you doubt yourself, to convince you that you are wrong for seeing things the way you do. But here's the catch. You don't need the approval of those who are blind to the truth. You don't need the validation of people who are too afraid to see things for what they are. You are enough. You are the one who sees. You are the one who knows what's real. And in the end, that will be your greatest weapon. Because while others are chasing after hollow dreams and false promises, you will be building something far more powerful. You will be building your own legacy. You will be creating your own reality. And when the dust finally settles, when the lies have all crumbled and the masks have fallen off, it will be you who stands tall, looking at a world that finally knows the truth. And the truth is this: they were never as smart as they thought they were. They were never as in control as they believed. They were never as clever as they appeared to be. And in the end, it is you who will have the last laugh, because when all is said and done, they'll know. They'll know that you weren't fooled for a second. And in that moment, they'll be the ones who look stupid. They will know that they were never as clever as they believed themselves to be, that their actions, the lies they told, the deception they embraced, were nothing more than fleeting distractions in a world that operates on truth. The masks will fall, and in that instant, when the light of reality shines through, they will be exposed for exactly what they are: fragile, insecure, and hollow. All their bravado, all their posturing will crumble to dust. And here's where you gain an advantage that they can never take from you. You are no longer trying to fit in, to gain approval, or to be accepted by people who wouldn't care about your struggles if it meant compromising their own comfort. When you finally stop seeking validation from those who only know how to build their own fragile egos on the backs of others, you step into a world of your own making. This world you now live in, the one where truth and authenticity are the foundation of your existence, is yours. You control the narrative. You are the writer of your own story, and every step you take from this moment forward will be guided by your own internal compass. Your confidence is no longer an illusion built on the fragile structures of societal expectation or the hollow praise of others. It is rooted in something far more powerful: your own clarity and self-awareness. When you see someone desperately clinging to a lie, it is both tragic and laughable. The world tries to make us believe that success is only found through conformity, that achievement is measured by how well we adhere to the standards set by others. And yet, the truth is that true power, true greatness, is not about what the world tells you to be or do. It is about standing apart from the crowd, recognizing the falsehoods around you, and choosing your own path regardless of the obstacles that stand in your way. This moment where they come to realize they were never in control, that their beliefs were always fragile, is your moment of victory. It's easy for them to look back and say, "Why didn't we see this earlier?" Because the truth is a terrifying thing. They will start to understand that while they were dancing on the surface of shallow waters, you were learning how to swim in the deep, knowing full well that only those who understand the depths can truly navigate the tides of life. And when they look at you now, they'll be forced to confront their own insecurities. They'll see that you don't need their approval. They'll see that your strength lies in your refusal to bow down to the rules they've created, the lies they've sold, the way they've manipulated the narrative to maintain control over those who follow. They will see that you have outgrown them, that you were never the weak one, the foolish one, or the one who could be easily manipulated. They will see, with a sharp, bitter clarity, that you knew all along. You were never fooled, and this will eat at them, because no matter how much they try to move on, no matter how much they try to convince themselves that it doesn't matter, deep down, they know. They know they were wrong. They know they believed in something false. And as they face their own inner turmoil, you'll stand as the epitome of the person who refused to fall for their lies. The danger lies not in being wrong, but in continuing to live as though you are right while being clearly mistaken. When you live in a lie, it creates a false sense of security. You convince yourself that you are doing everything right, that you are playing the game as it was meant to be played, and that everyone around you who questions the rules is just too radical or too cynical. But the truth is always lurking beneath the surface, and it has a way of revealing itself when the time is right. The truth is patient. It doesn't rush. It doesn't scream or force itself into your life. Instead, it waits. It waits for the moment when you are no longer able to ignore it. And when that moment comes, you will feel its weight. You will feel the power of knowing that you were never fooled, that you saw it all, the manipulation, the false promises, the smooth talk, the illusions, and you walked away from it all, even when it seemed like everyone else was falling for it. As they face the consequences of their own choices, they'll begin to ask themselves where they went wrong. They'll wonder how they could have missed the signs, how they could have been so blinded by the very things they thought would bring them success. And in the silence of their regret, they will understand one undeniable fact. They were too afraid to see the truth. They clung to the comfortable lies because it was easier than facing the cold, harsh reality. And you were never afraid. You didn't need the comfort of illusions to feel secure. You didn't need to feed off the validation of others to feel valuable. You were willing to stand in the discomfort, in the uncertainty, and face what others would rather ignore. You understood that true strength doesn't come from fitting in or conforming. It comes from being willing to stand alone, to walk a path no one else dares to walk, and to do so without looking back. Now, as you look around and see the unraveling of the world that others have built around themselves, you must remind yourself that this is not just your victory, it is the world's loss. The world, in its desperation to maintain its false image, has tried to push you to the sidelines, to tell you that you are wrong for thinking differently, for seeing beyond the surface. But the truth is, they needed you more than you ever needed them. They needed someone to show them the way, someone to break free from the prison of their own creation, someone to speak the truth that they were too afraid to face, and you were that person. Now, as they look at you, you can almost hear their minds racing, asking themselves, how did they do it? How did they break free while we stayed trapped in our own lies? They'll try to recreate your success, to mimic your strength, but they will never understand the journey you've been on. They will never understand the battles you fought silently, the moments you questioned your own worth, the times when you stood on the edge and felt the weight of the world pressing down on you. Because that's what it takes to see the truth. The willingness to endure. The willingness to sacrifice comfort for clarity. The willingness to stand in the face of ridicule and judgment, because you know that in the end, it is the truth that will prevail, not the lies. And when you emerge from the darkness, when you come out of the storm unscathed, you will have something they'll never possess. You'll have the knowledge that you were never fooled. You'll have the wisdom that comes from having seen the world for what it truly is, not what they told you it should be. And when they look at you, knowing deep down that they were never as wise as they pretended to be, you can smile, not in arrogance, but in the quiet confidence of someone who has walked through the fire and emerged stronger on the other side. They'll try to claw their way back into your life, to force their opinions on you, to try to make you doubt yourself. But remember, it is not you who needs them. It is they who need you. And as they look to you for answers, you can finally hold your head high and say, I told you so, but I never needed to say it before. You were the ones who needed to hear it. In the end, the power belongs to those who choose the truth, to those who dare to break free from the lies that the world feeds them. The world may laugh at you now, may mock your choices, may try to tear you down, but remember that the truth always wins. And when the dust settles, you will be the one standing tall, with the knowledge that you were never fooled, and they were the ones who looked stupid, the very ones who mocked you, doubted you, dismissed your clarity as weakness, are now watching you. And in that watching, they are realizing their mistake. How deliciously ironic is that? They were so sure of their own vision, their own understanding of how the world worked, that they thought they could shape your reality by their own standards. But in doing so, they lost sight of something far more significant, something far more powerful: the truth. You see, people who live by the illusions of the world have a way of making you feel small, of making you question your worth. They wear their ignorance like a badge of honor, telling you that your way of thinking is impractical, that your refusal to follow the herd is foolish. But in the end, they are the ones who are foolish. They are the ones who have trapped themselves in a cage of their own making. And while they are still scrambling to break free from their self-imposed limitations, you are standing outside that cage, free and unbound, watching them struggle to breathe. The truth, my friend, is often too much for people to handle. It shakes their very foundation. It challenges everything they thought they knew. It forces them to confront their deepest fears and insecurities. And most people, when faced with that kind of challenge, run from it. They seek comfort in the lies they've told themselves. They convince themselves that their way is the right way, that the path they've chosen is the one that leads to success. But the problem is that those lies never last. They may hold up for a while, but eventually, reality has a way of cracking through. And when that reality comes crashing down, they are left standing in the wreckage, staring at the destruction of their own making. They'll look around and wonder how they didn't see it coming, how they didn't realize that the things they built their lives on were nothing more than illusions. And in that moment, they'll have to face the hard truth. They were the ones who were wrong. They were the ones who were wrong. They were the ones who built their lives on lies. It's in that moment that you get to stand tall, to show the world that you were never fooled. You were never the one who blindly followed the crowd, who allowed the world to shape your thoughts and beliefs. You were the one who looked beyond the surface, who saw through the smoke and mirrors, and understood that true success is not built on the approval of others or the validation of false standards. And here's the beauty of it. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to rub their noses in it. The fact that you know that you were never fooled speaks for itself. They will come to you, if not physically, then in their thoughts, in their silence. They will see the way you move, the way you carry yourself, and they'll know. They'll know that you have something they don't. They'll know that you have the strength to stand in your truth, to walk through the storm and come out the other side unscathed. What's even more powerful is that deep down, you'll know that you didn't need anyone's validation. You didn't need the approval of the world or the praise of those who would have seen you fail. Your strength is built on your own understanding of who you are. Your worth is not determined by the opinions of others, nor is it defined by the fleeting success of those who think they have it all figured out. You are free. You are liberated from the shackles of societal expectations, from the pressure to conform, from the desire to be liked or accepted or celebrated. You no longer need the false praise of a system that only rewards those who play by its broken rules. You know who you are, and you know what you stand for. And when you look at them, the ones who tried to tear you down, the ones who tried to convince you that your way was wrong, you can't help but feel a sense of quiet satisfaction. They are the ones who are foolish. They are the ones who are lost. And you are the one who is standing in the light of your own truth. But don't think for a second that this victory comes easily. It doesn't. The road to this moment, the path that you have walked, is one that demands sacrifice, effort, and an unyielding belief in yourself. There were times, I'm sure, when you doubted yourself, when you questioned whether you were right, when the voices around you grew louder and louder, trying to convince you to give up, to give in, to follow the easy path. But you didn't. You didn't, because you knew something they didn't. You knew that the easy path is never the path to greatness. You knew that success is not measured by how many people agree with you, by how many people follow you, by how many people give you a thumbs up or a pat on the back. No, success is measured by your ability to stay true to your vision, to your purpose, even when the world around you tells you that you're wrong. Success is built on the strength to face adversity, to endure hardship, and to rise above the noise. And now, as they look at you, they know that you've done something they couldn't. They know that while they were too busy chasing after the approval of others, you were busy creating your own path, forging your own way. And when they look at you now, they see that they were never in control, that they were never the ones who held the power. No, the power was always with you. You held the keys to your own freedom, to your own success, to your own happiness. And they were the ones who were trapped in their own illusions, chasing after things that didn't matter, clinging to false hopes, living lives of quiet desperation, all while you walked with your head held high, knowing exactly what you wanted and who you were. In the end, the truth is undeniable. It may take time for them to admit it to themselves, but they will know. They will know that you were never fooled, that you saw through the smoke and mirrors, and that you had the courage to live in your truth. They will look at you, and they will see something they can never possess: clarity. You see, clarity is the most powerful tool anyone can have. When you have clarity of vision, when you understand who you are and what you want, nothing can stand in your way. It doesn't matter how many people try to bring you down, how many people question your choices, how many people doubt your abilities. When you are clear in your purpose, nothing can shake you. And they will watch in awe as you continue to rise, as you continue to move forward with unshakable confidence, knowing that you were never fooled, and they, in their ignorance, were the ones who looked stupid. It's the bitter truth that everyone must face at some point. Those who live in lies and illusion are the ones who will ultimately be exposed. They may enjoy the illusion of control for a time, but when the veil is lifted, when the truth comes crashing through, it is they who will stand exposed, naked, in their own deception. But you will stand strong. You will stand tall. You will look around and see the world for what it truly is. And while others may stumble in their ignorance, you will continue to walk your path with purpose, with clarity, and with the undeniable knowledge that you were never fooled. And that, my friend, is a victory no one can ever take away from you. So now, as the dust settles and the truth stands tall, remember this: you were never fooled. You saw clearly when others were blind, stood firm when others wavered, and chose truth over comfort. Let them wear the shame of their illusions, because in the end, they're the ones who look stupid. And you, unshaken, walk forward with power, clarity, and pride